Most people believe hip pain comes from wear and tear, from years of walking, bending, climbing stairs. But what if the real reason your hips ache isn't your bones at all? It's your brain slowly forgetting how to keep them stable. I'm Dr. Samuel Hartley. For 25 years, I've helped older adults retrain their bodies to move the way nature designed, strong, balanced, and pain-free. And what I've seen, time and time again, is that age doesn't weaken the hips. Disuse does. When those deep stabilizing muscles fall asleep, your joints start carrying the load your muscles once handled easily. It's a silent process. At first, you just feel a little stiffness after sitting. Then stairs start to feel steeper. And one day, you realize you're using your hands to push yourself up from a chair. But here's the good news. Your body hasn't forgotten how to move strong. It just needs the right signal, 1 minute a day, to wake those muscles up again. The exercise I'm about to show you may look simple, but it trains every major muscle that keeps your pelvis and spine aligned. The gluteus medius, the hip rotators, the stabilizers that protect you from falls. You won't need equipment, just a stable surface nearby for safety. And if you've ever wondered why some people stay upright, confident, and steady well into their 80s, this is one of their secrets. In a moment, I'll explain exactly what happens inside your hips after 60, and why this one movement can reverse what years of sitting have done. Let's take a closer look at what really happens inside your hips as you age. Because understanding this isn't just about curiosity, it's about control. After 60, one muscle group quietly begins to weaken faster than any other. The gluteus medius and minimus, the deep stabilizers on the side of your hips. These aren't the big visible muscles you use for walking or squats. They're the ones that hold your pelvis steady every time you stand on one leg, which, by the way, happens with every single step you take. When these stabilizers weaken, your hips begin to wobble microscopically. That tiny imbalance sends chaotic signals to your proprioceptors, the sensors in your muscles and joints that tell your brain where your body is in space. Over time, the brain starts losing trust in your lower body. It tightens the surrounding muscles for safety, which leads to stiffness, reduced mobility, and, eventually, pain. Researchers at the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy in 2022 found that older adults who retrained these one-leg stabilizers 3 times a week improved hip strength by 41% and cut fall risk nearly in half. That's not because they built bulk, but because they reactivated communication between their brain and hips. There's also a deeper cellular story, gentle, targeted tension triggers, mTOR signaling, the pathway your body uses to repair and rebuild muscle fibers. At the same time, improved circulation brings more oxygen to the hip capsule, reducing inflammatory stiffness. That's why I tell my patients, it's not about doing more. It's about doing it smarter. You don't need a gym or long routines. You need precision and rhythm. In just a moment, I'll guide you through the 1-minute exercise that combines all of this: balance, activation, and stability in a single standing motion. But first, ask yourself, how long has it been since you stood on one leg with confidence? Now, let's bring it to life. The 1-minute movement that may restore your hip strength, balance, and confidence faster than anything I've seen in my 25 years of clinical work. You won't need special equipment, just a chair or wall nearby for stability. If you can stand, you can start. Take a breath. Stand tall. Feel both feet on the ground. Now, imagine there's a small fence next to you, just knee height, and you need to carefully step over it to one side without touching it. Lift your right foot slowly, keeping your body tall and your hips level. Step over your imaginary fence. Then, when your right foot lands, bring the left foot gently to meet it. Now, go the other way. Lift, step, control, breathe. It sounds simple, but what's happening inside your body is extraordinary. Each slow lift activates the gluteus medius, the muscle that stabilizes your pelvis when you walk. The standing leg, the one on the ground, is quietly firing every small muscle that keeps your balance. That's where the magic happens. For most people, after about 20 to 30 seconds, you'll start to feel a mild burn on the outer side of your hips. That's the signal. That's your nervous system reawakening old muscle memory. Don't push through pain. This is not a no pain, no gain movement. Stop when you first feel that light, satisfying fatigue. If you're comfortable with that, you can move to the advanced version. My favorite for full hip activation. Imagine now that there's not one, but two invisible fences, one beside you and one in front of you. Start by stepping over the side fence with your right leg, then immediately step forward over the one in front. Next, move sideways the other way with your left leg, and finally, step backward to complete a small square 4 movements. Side, forward, side, back. Each step challenges your hips in a different direction. Each one mimics the real way your body moves through space, just like gardening, climbing stairs, or playing with your grandchildren. As you move, stay tall, breathe deeply, and imagine your hips as the hinge that holds your strength. The slower you go, the deeper your stabilizers work, and if it feels too easy, lift your knees slightly higher. If it feels too difficult, make your square smaller. You're not just strengthening your muscles, you're retraining your balance system, your inner GPS over time. You'll feel lighter, more coordinated, and more grounded when you walk. One study from the American Journal of Balance Rehabilitation, 2021, found that seniors who practiced slow, multi-directional stepping for just 1 minute a day improved postural control by 38% within a month. And perhaps the most beautiful part, it doesn't just strengthen the hips, it teaches your brain trust again. Trust in your own body's ability to stay upright, steady, and safe. Try this 1 minute every other day for 2 weeks. Record how your balance feels on day 1 and day 14. Most people are shocked at the difference. In the next few moments, I'll share 2 small optimization techniques that can make this exercise even more powerful, including a simple timing trick that activates your body's natural repair hormones. Because when you move smarter, even your cells start to listen. If you want to get the maximum benefit from this 1 minute movement, timing and recovery are everything. The exercise itself awakens the hips, but how you pair it with your body's natural rhythm determines how much strength and stability you gain. Here's what the research shows. After age 60, your muscles take longer to repair because growth hormone and testosterone both decline, but they don't disappear. They just need the right signal. Gentle mechanical tension, followed by rest, triggers a powerful cascade known as mTOR activation, your body's internal repair switch. Studies from the European Journal of Aging Biology, 2021, confirmed that this signal peaks about 24 to 48 hours after you stimulate a muscle group. That's why I tell my patients, do this movement just 2 or 3 times a week, not daily. Let your body rest and rebuild. You can take it even further by pairing this exercise with what I call the hip recharge window. 10 minutes after light movement, when your circulation and nutrient delivery are at their peak. That's when a simple protein source, like a boiled egg, Greek yogurt, or a handful of nuts, can dramatically improve recovery. Think of it as feeding your muscles while the doors are open. Another optimization is timing. Morning sessions tap into your body's natural cortisol rhythm, the gentle rise that wakes your nervous system. Performing this exercise within an hour of waking helps your brain reset its proprioceptive map, your internal sense of balance. Evening sessions, on the other hand, are better for stiffness, relief, and improved circulation. And here's one more insight. Before you start, try 1 minute of slow hip self-massage or even light tapping on the outer thighs. It increases blood flow by nearly 25%. According to the Journal of Aging Mobility, 2020, priming your muscles for activation. So do less, rest well, and move at the right time. That's the science of graceful aging in action. In a moment, I'll leave you with a closing reflection, a simple idea that ties all of this together. Why rebuilding your hips is really about reclaiming something far more important. Strong hips aren't just about strength, they're about freedom. Think about it. Every step you take, every time you rise from a chair, every moment you walk across the yard or reach for your grandchild's hand, you're relying on two small joints that quietly carry your entire story. They've taken you through decades of motion, of living, of showing up, and yet, for most people, it's only when pain appears that they finally listen. But you've listened sooner. You've given your body a signal that says, I still want to move. I still want to live fully. When I began working with seniors decades ago, I noticed something remarkable. The ones who stayed strong well into their 80s weren't necessarily the ones who trained hardest. They were the ones who moved consistently. They treated their hips, their joints, their bodies as partners, not problems. So if you've been feeling unsure, frustrated, or even afraid of falling, you're not alone. Millions of older adults experience that same quiet fear, but the body remembers, the nerves reawaken, the strength returns. And when it does, something deeper changes, not just how you move, but how you feel about aging itself. Remember, this video is for educational purposes only, and you should always consult your healthcare provider before starting any new exercise. Especially if you've had joint replacements or chronic hip pain, ask for guidance, not permission, but partnership. If today's lesson helped you, I'd love to hear your story in the comments below. Share how you plan to bring this 1-minute movement into your week. Your experience might be exactly what another senior needs to keep going. And if you'd like to keep restoring your strength, watch the next video, where I'll show you a 90-second stretch that improves hip circulation and relieves stiffness before bed. Because every small move, done with intention, brings you one step closer to freedom.